Good morning everybody. So in our last video we have studied the introduction to prokaryotic cell, and in this video we will study about the structure of prokaryotic cell. And in this structure of prokaryotic cell we are studying the bacterial cell. So a bacterial cell, it usually consists of the cell envelope, the cytoplasm, nucleoid, plasmid, mesosomes, inclusion bodies, ribosomes, etc. So first we will start with the cell envelope. What is this cell envelope? So in case of bacteria, this cell envelope, it consists of three components, that is glycocalyx, the cell wall, and the cell membrane. This glycocalyx, it is the outermost covering of the bacterial cell, that is shown in the black color. So it is the glycocalyx. It is outermost covering of the bacterial cell, and it consists of two parts, that is the inner layer, that is known as S layer, and the outer layer, it is known as mucilase. The outer layer is known as mucilase. Now this inner S layer of glycocalyx, it is made up of polypeptides which are rich in acidic amino acids, whereas the outer mucilase layer, it is a gelatinous layer that consists of carbohydrates. It is the mucilase layer which results in the formation of capsule during unfavorable conditions, and it protects the bacteria from unfavorable environmental conditions. So this mucilase later on during unfavorable conditions, it results in the formation of capsule. Now what is the function of this glycocalyx? So this glycocalyx, it is responsible for providing protection to the bacterial cell. The second component of the cell envelope is cell wall. So these prokaryotic cells, that is bacterial cell, its cell wall is peptoglycan cell wall. That means it is made up of peptidoglycan. Next thing, this cell wall in case of bacteria, it is rigid and it is solid, and it is present between the glycocalyx and the cell membrane. So cell wall is present between the cell wall is present between the cell membrane and glycocalyx. Further, in case of gram-positive bacteria, this cell wall is much thicker and its thickness is near about 20 to 80 nanometer in case of gram-positive bacteria, whereas in case of gram-negative bacteria, its thickness is near about 12 to 18 nanometer only. So gram-positive bacteria have thicker cell wall in comparison to the gram-negative bacteria. Further, this cell wall in case of prokaryotic cells, it is responsible for providing the shape and size to cell. It is responsible for providing shape and size to cell, and it also provides the protection to bacterial or prokaryotic cell from some mechanical injury. The next component of bacterial cell envelope is cell membrane. So this cell membrane in case of bacteria, it is selectively permeable and it is present towards the cytoplasm. So it is shown in the green color, the innermost layer of cell envelope, that is the cell membrane, and it is present towards the cytoplasm. That means this cell membrane, it encloses the cytoplasm of a bacterial cell. Further, this cell membrane, it is selectively permeable membrane, and it is made up of phospholipid bilayer along with intrinsic, extrinsic, and the transmembrane proteins. Now in case of bacteria, this cell membrane, it is metabolically active. It is metabolically active because it contains the enzymes, or it is involved in enzymic activities involving the respiration process. It is also responsible for the synthesis of lipids, and cell membrane is also responsible for the synthesis of cell wall components. So in cell envelope, we have studied the main cell membrane and cell wall, and including the glycocalyx, that is mucilase layer, which forms the capsule. Now this cell envelope, it basically includes the cell wall and the cell membrane and its modifications. The modifications of cell envelope includes the flagella, the villi and the fimbriae. So there are three modifications of this cell envelope. So starting with the flagella. So this flagella, in case of bacteria, it is a tubular single-stranded and microtubular fibers which are near about 1 point, or you can say it is near about 1 to 7 micron meter in length, and they are near about 0.02 micron meter in diameter. So their length is 1 to 7 micron meter and their diameter is 0.02 micron meter. And these flagella, they are tube-like structures and they consist of three basic parts. That is a basal body which gets attached to the cell membrane or cell envelope, then a hook-like structure, and the last and largest is the filament. So each flagella, it consists of three parts. That is, this part is your basal body of flagella, this is the hook of flagella, and this is the filament of flagella. Now these flagella, they are responsible for, or they helps in the movement of bacteria. That means they are responsible for the locomotion of bacteria from one place to another place. Further, these flagella, they are made up of, another flagella is here. So these flagella, they are made up of flagellin protein. They are made up of flagellin protein. So these flagella, they are finger-like structures, you can say, these are hair-like structures, you can say, or these are tubular structures which are made up of flagellin protein. They consist of three parts, that is the basal body, the hook part and the filament, and they helps in movement or locomotion of the bacterial cell. The second modification of cell envelope includes the fimbriae. These fimbriae, these are small finger-like structures. These are small finger-like structures. So these fimbriae are bristle in nature, and they helps bacteria in adhesion process. Adhesion process means they helps bacteria in attachment of, or they helps bacteria in attachment to some substratum or to some base part. So these fimbriae, they are small hair-like or finger-like structures which are bristle in nature, and they helps bacteria in attachment to some substratum. That means they helps bacteria in adhesion process. Next modification of cell envelope is villi, and these villi, they are larger than the fimbriae, and these villi, they are also tube-like structures or tubular structures, but they do not help in locomotion or movement of bacteria. But these villi, they develops in response to fertility factor, that is F factor, in case of gram-positive bacteria. And these villi, they are made up of pillin protein. These villi are made up of pillin protein. So these villi, they are also tubular structures, but they do not help in locomotion or movement. They develops in response to fertility factor or F plus factor, and they are made up of pillin protein. So after the cell envelope, we will now study about the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell. So this cytoplasm of bacterial cell, it is the living matter of the bacterial cell excluding the nucleoid, and the bacterial cell have granular cytoplasm due to presence of these ribosomes. Though this bacterial cytoplasm, it do not have the membrane bounded cell organelles, but it consists of some other cell organelles, and each of these cell organelles now we will study in details. So the first we will discuss about these mesosomes. So what are these mesosomes? So basically these mesosomes, they are formed due to villiform apparatus, or due to villiform specialization of this cell membrane. So this is our cell membrane, and it results in some villiform apparatus, or it gets specialized into some villiform or finger-like apparatus, that is known as mesosome. These mesosomes, they performs the three main functions in case of bacterial cell. That these mesosomes, first of all, they helps in the cell division process, and they contains the enzymes So these enzymes helps in respiration process which are present in mesosomes. That means these mesosomes acts as a mitochondria for these prokaryotic cells. Though prokaryotic cells do not have the mitochondria, these mitochondria are the characteristic of eukaryotic cells, but these mesosomes present in the prokaryotic cells, they are the center for the respiration process. So in these the formation of ATP occurs, and in that sense these are the mitochondria for the prokaryotic cells. So these mesosomes, their main function is to carry out the respiration process. They helps in cell division process, and they also increases the surface area of cell membrane. Now the second component of the bacterial cell cytoplasm are ribosomes. So these ribosomes are membraneless, they are smaller in size, and they are ribonucleoproteins which are present in bacterial cytoplasm. Now in case of prokaryotic cell, that is bacteria, this bacterial cytoplasm contains the 70S type of ribosomes. 70S type of ribosomes, here S is for Swarberg or SED for sedimentary coefficient. So these prokaryotic cells have 70S type of ribosomes, whereas the eukaryotic cells have 80S type of ribosomes. These 70S type of ribosomes have lesser density in comparison to the 80S type of ribosomes which are present in the prokaryotic cells. Further, these ribosomes in case of prokaryotic cells, these helps in the protein synthesis. These ribosomes helps in protein synthesis. Now if these ribosomes, they can either be present in the single form, that is single ribosome, or many ribosomes may get attached to a mRNA. So here are ribosome, this is another ribosome, this is another ribosome, this is another ribosome, and it is attached to a mRNA. So when more than two or many or several ribosomes gets attached to a single ribosome, at that time that poly or trans gene gets transcribed, and these ribosomes are known as polyribosomes, or they are simply known as polysomes. So when several ribosomes are present together on a single mRNA, then they result in the formation of polysomes or polyribosomes. And the main function of polysomes is the synthesis of several proteins. And the main function of any ribosome, it is to synthesize proteins only in any cell. Now our next cytoplasmic structure is nucleoid. So this nucleoid, it is the genetic material of bacterial cell or prokaryotic cell. Though this nucleoid in case of bacteria is the genetic material of bacterial cell, but is not bounded by the nuclear membrane. It is present as such in the cytoplasm, and that's why it is known as nucleoid. This nucleoid, it is also known as the genopore, or it is also known as prochromosome, or it is also known as the chromonema. Now in case of bacteria, this bacterial DNA or the bacterial genetic material, it consists of single stranded DNA duplex. So nucleoid in bacteria, it consists of single stranded DNA duplex, and this nucleoid, it may present either in the center of the bacterial cell, or it may present attached to these mesosomes. So when a bacterial cell is not dividing, at that time the nucleoid, it is present at the center of bacterial cell, and when this bacterial cells carries out the cell division process, then this nucleoid or this circular DNA of bacteria, it gets attached to the mesosomes. Further, there is one more DNA molecule inside the cytoplasm of this bacterial cell, and it is only found in bacterial cells, and it is known as the plasmid. This is the plasmid, here it is. So this plasmid in case of bacterial cell, it is extra chromosomal and circular double-stranded DNA molecule of bacterial cytoplasm. So plasmid is a extra chromosomal It is circular and double-stranded DNA molecule present in the bacterial cytoplasm. Further, this plasmid, it consists of 3 different types of genes. So plasmid consists of 3 different types of genes. The first gene that is present in plasmid is called F gene. The first gene that is present in plasmid is called F gene. This F gene is fertility gene. This F gene is fertility gene. So, if the plasmid is present in a bacterial cell, then this bacteria is known as F plus bacteria. That is F positive bacteria. And if plasmid is not present, then this F gene will be absent in the bacterial cell, and that bacterial cell is known as F negative bacteria. Further, this F gene, it is responsible for the formation of villi. These villi are known as sex villi. They are known as sex villi. Why these are known as sex villi? Because these are formed due to this fertility gene. So this fertility gene or F gene is responsible for the formation of these sex villi in case of bacteria. And these are the tube-like structures through which the transfer of a copy of this plasmid occurs from F positive bacterial cell to F negative bacterial cell. And the bacterial cell which contains the fertility factor, which contains the plasmid that containing the F factor, that acts as a male bacteria, whereas the bacteria which do not contain the plasmid or the fertility factor, that acts as a female bacteria. So it is a type of sexual reproduction in case of bacteria, that when the copy of a plasmid from F plus bacteria gets transferred through this villi to F negative bacteria. So it is a type of sexual reproduction in case of bacteria, that is known as conjugation. That is known as conjugation. Now, the second gene that is present in this plasmid, it is known as R gene. The second gene present in plasmid is R gene. And this R gene, it is responsible for providing resistance to bacteria against some antibiotics. So the antibiotic resistant genes are present in plasmid of a bacteria that provides the antibiotic resistance to bacteria against some antibiotics. The third gene that is present in plasmid, it is known as Col gene. It is known as Col gene. And this Col gene, it provides bacteria the resistance against the colchicine. So these are the 3 genes which are present in plasmid. The F gene that acts as a fertility gene, and it is responsible for the development of villi. The bacteria containing the plasmid is called F plus bacteria because it contains the F gene. The bacteria in which the plasmid is absent, then it will not contain the F gene, so it is called F negative bacteria. The second gene in plasmid is R gene, which provides antibiotic resistance to the bacteria. And the third gene present in plasmid is Col gene, which provides the resistance against colchicine to the bacteria. Now, the next component that is present in bacterial cell is inclusion bodies. Now, what are these inclusion bodies? So, these inclusion bodies, they are usually membraneless and non-living components which are present in the bacterial cell, and they are usually responsible for storing the reserve food material of bacteria. So inclusion bodies, they are responsible for storing the reserve food material of bacteria. They are membraneless and non-living. For example, the gas vacuoles present in bacteria. Gas vacuoles present in bacteria, they are a type of inclusion bodies. Some inorganic inclusions which are present in bacterial cell, they include the sulfur inclusion bodies, the iron inclusions, the phosphate inclusions, the volatile inclusions, etc. So in this way, these inclusion bodies, they are responsible for the storing of reserve food material of bacterial cell cytoplasm. Now in case of prokaryotes such as blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, they also contain some more components such as chromatophores. These chromatophores, they help in photosynthesis in case of blue-green algae, because these blue-green algae, they are autotrophic, but then they do not contain the chloroplast. So they contain some light absorbing substance in the form of chromatophores, which helps in the process of photosynthesis. One more thing, this we have talked about the inclusion bodies. These inclusion bodies also includes the lipid granules and the oil droplets and all that. Thank you.